dapat dulu yang you rasa confident. No one? Tak ada yang dapat idea. My voice can be heard, right?
Yes.
Okay, it can be heard. So let's go through for tutorial. Sekejap kita tengok tutorial 1. Oh, saya tak present lagi. Okay. Saya bagi kuat sikit suara. And then okay, sekejap. Nasib baik tak present lagi. Apa ni? Lo Eugene dapat A squared equals 16. Yes, B squared equals 16. Sama dengan saya. Tapi dia minta apa? The whole equation ke? 20B, find the equation. So actually, Lo Eugene, you should write your answer in the standard equation form of a hyperbola lah. There is one concern. Okay, saya present sekarang. Thank you so much. Very good. Your value seems correct, but it's not the final answer that we strive for. Alah, dia yang masuk lagi. Cepatlah masuk. Okay. Ada lagi. I'm Papi Jun. Baru masuk. Okay, present now. Your entire screen. Okay. Okay, let's understand the question first. Find the equation for the hyperbola that satisfy the given condition. Okay, I'm supposed for 20A you should not have much trouble there, but I ought to do it again. Sekejap, kita pergi ke 20A sekejap. Dia agak direct kat situ. 20A. The information given is a foci. So plus minus 5, 0. So we know that the value of C is 5. And also the vertices plus minus 3, 0. And we don't know A or B yet. We can know actually. So my advice is try to plot the point first. This is what I actually did. So given X, Y, and you have a foci at 5, 0. And also the vertices at 3, 0. Okay. So this can actually give you the idea that the hyperbola points lies horizontally. Kita boleh nampak idea dah kat sini bahawa dia pada sini. Jadi saya lakarkan. Your hyperbola should look something like this. 20A. So again, you need to rewrite the equation. It asks for the equation. So because this is in terms of the horizontal shape, so we know that x squared over a squared minus y squared over b squared is equals to positive 1. Dia mesti positive 1 kalau bentuk macam ni. Kalau bentuk equals to negative 1, then it should be vertically lah. Okay. We know right now about the C, and right now vertices plus minus 3, 0 ni, dia sepatutnya adalah nilai A. Okay, so you can write down A here safely. You know that A is 3 minus y squared over b equals to 1. So, sekejap saya check. Takut, okay. Alright, can be now. So, we don't know B yet, but you know that this equation can be found by C squared equals to A squared plus B squared for the case of hyperbola. Therefore, we can know B here. B squared equals to C squared minus A squared B squared equals to C is 25, 5 squared lah saya tulis tolak 3 squared, and this is directly Pythagorean punya triplets, therefore B squared equals to 4 squared.
Sir,
Ya.
A tu kena kuasa 2 kan? Betul tak?
A itu adalah nilai panjang A tu, tak perlu kuasa 2 kat sini. A tu yang nilai 3. Bukannya 3 kuasa 2. A kat sini ni 3. So, B squared equals to 4 squared, therefore B equals to plus minus 4. Tak perlu squarekan. Lastly, we translate that the equation will be x squared over 3 squared minus y squared over 4 squared equals to 1. Saya faham soalan awak actually. Jangan macam mana cakap. Okay, katakan vertices, this one negative A 0 and also A 0. Nilai A ni yang kita nak, walaupun dalam equation tu A squared. So kita tengok yang A ni adalah yang dalam bulatan ni. Jangan squarekan awal-awal. Dalam persamaan kita square, tetapi nilai A kalau kita mark A sini, A kosong, 3 kosong, ni negatif 3 kosong. Ini adalah nilai A tersebut, 3. Alright. This question is quite direct. Ingat, sentiasa ingat. Always try to draft the idea first. And based on my draft of the plot of 30 and 50, I know that this is equals to 1. And the origin is 0, 0. Boleh tahu direct kat sini. Okay, let's go to the next one yang agak mencabar. Terus terang saya cakap mencabar, saya hampir nak verify benda tu dengan lakaran sebenar. Okay, the original question of 20B, it states that is given a the directrix, dia bagi directrix. No, dia bagi asymptote. Asymptote is y equals to plus minus x. Dua maklumat dia bagi. And it passes through 5, 3. So when I get this equation, when I get this question, I write first that the asymptote is y equals to plus minus x. Both direction. Dia ada positive dia ada x dia. And it pass at 5, 3. So again, suppose I get this question, this is what I will do first. It's not necessarily, but it's good. Y equals to x. Directrix, asymptote dia di sini. Sorry. Okay, this is the asymptote. And then, right now you don't have the idea. Actually, right now, myself also don't have the idea right now to be whether it lies horizontally or vertically. Kita tak tahu, memang tak boleh nak tahu lagi. Sama ada macam ni atau macam ini. We cannot be sure yet. So, at that time, you already know the asymptote. Why not we compare with the formula of the asymptote? Y minus k equals to plus minus b over a x minus h. Right. Let's compare with the information given, x. Ni kalau siapa check kat belakang saya tak nampak tau. In anyway, buka mikrofon macam kawan kamu tadi ya. Okay. We have equation 1, we have equation 2. Let's compare it together. And basically, we can know for sure that the origin, the center will be 0, 0. That is what I assume first. So HK is 0, 0. So you are left with y equals to plus minus b over a and then y equals to plus minus x. Okay, now let's bring this together. X equals to plus minus x equals to plus minus b over a. Doesn't matter right now about the plus sign and minus sign because dia both side. Jadi kita x sama dengan b over a, you boleh tengok macam tu dulu. When is the condition that the coefficient, dia ambil coefficient b over a x. Saya lupa bawa turun. Sekejap saya padam. When we compare b over a ni, this b over a is equivalent to a silent, invisible one there. Still, b and a could be anything, but one thing for sure, a equals to b. Sebab tu Lo bagi jawapan tadi a dengan b tu sama, kalau korang perasan. Okay, now how to get the value of a and b? Now, this comes into role right now, 5 and 3. Okay, 5 and 3. Okay, at the time I experiment with this, minus y squared over b squared equals to 1. Okay, yang ni kalau ada student ada boleh bagi penjelasan matematik, okay. Maksud saya, time tu saya cuba jaya dengan ini, cuba dengan negative 1. Okay. Okay, because a equals to b, ini one side, ini second idea. For the first idea that I managed to implement it, it's very easy as you know that a equals to b, therefore x squared over a squared minus y squared over a squared is equivalent to 1. And you know the x and y already based on it passes to 5 and 3. Okay, so 5 squared over a squared minus 3 squared over a squared equals to 1. Jadi kita boleh tahu nilai a daripada sini. Yang mana 5 squared minus 3 squared equals to a squared. Jadi kita tahu a squared equals to 4 squared and a equals to plus minus 4. And because a equals to plus minus 4 and a equals to b, therefore b is also plus minus 4. You put back into the original equation, x squared over 4 squared, a squared, b squared pun 4 squared minus y squared over 4 squared is equivalent to 1. This will be the supposed answer. And to double check, I plot my graph, and yes, it passes to 5, 3, definitely. Okay, ni soalan yang baik terus terang saya kata sangat baik. What I don't test yet, if it is equivalent to negative 1, boleh tak dapat? Okay, cuba saya tak buat lagi ni. Semalam saya tak cuba. Saya dah plot yang ni kalau ni, tapi dia tak pass to 5, 3. Dia pass to 3, 5. So let's take a little bit sekejap saja. Cuba kita main dengan idea ni. Okay, why not 5 squared? Ni sama je. Beza dia dekat right hand side equals to negative 1. Will there be an actual problem here? 5 squared minus 3 squared equals to negative a squared. So a squared equals to 3 squared minus 5 squared. So you will get something problematic here, right? Dia akan dapat 16 minus 25, 9 minus 25, and it will be negative 16, right? So, kalau siapa yang perasan benda ni, A squared cannot be negative. Any possible real number, if you kuasa duakan, dia akan dapat positif. So, yang ni mungkin petanda bahawa it cannot be equivalent to -1. Ada orang chat ke? Kalau chat saya tak nampak ya. Sekejap.
Sir,
Ya, saya bercakap.
macam mana nak tahu yang dia boleh equivalent -1 dengan 1 je? Positif 1 lah gitu.
Itu yang saya dah jelaskan tadi. When actually first time I got it, I cannot really assure that it will be equals to 1 or equals to -1. So pada mulanya, ni cerita benar lah ni, memang saya cuba dulu. Saya buat equals to 1, saya dapat jawapan yang munasabah, iaitu kita boleh dapat A ni, A squared ni equals to 16. Okay, atau 4 kuasa 2. Jadi munasabah kalau kita laksanakan pengiraan kat sini memang logik. Kalau saya cuba jaya dengan -1, inilah yang berlaku yang seperti di kanan. Which I get if I made it equivalent to -1, it might not be possible because at the end of the calculation we will get something like this, A squared equals to -16, which is impossible. If it is in a complex number dan boleh lah, tapi sekarang ni A squared sama dengan -16. Nilai apakah A kuasa 2 dapat -16? Memang tak ada. Memang tak ada. Daripada sini saya mengandaikan it cannot be equivalent to -1. So cara macam mana? Saya tahu lepas saya cuba. Bukannya saya tahu baru saya buat. Itu beza. Saya tak ada any mathematical basis sewaktu di peringkat ini, untuk menandakan dia sah mesti positif 1. Time sini yang saya baru colorkan merah ni, waktu saya di peringkat ini memang saya tak pasti sama ada dengan sahnya memang positif 1 atau negatif 1. So lepas kita melakukan pengiraan, baru saya tahu dia mesti positif 1. It cannot be negative 1 because what I found out is that A squared equals to -16 cannot possible. A is not possible. Here, at the bottom part here on the right hand side. And if you plot, kalau kamu plot pun memang kalau yang di belah kiri ni x squared over 4 squared minus y equals to positive 1 ni memang akan melalui 5/3. Itu jawapan by validation by lukisan lah. Okay. Strictly this is a very good answer. This is a very good question by the way. Okay, any more question? I hope some of you get this one. Saya rasa ramai di persimpangan dilema kat sini, positif 1 atau negatif 1. Saya rasa ramai yang lalu proses yang sama dengan saya. Dan ini cara saya buktikan dengan warna biru di kanan ni, section biru di kanan ni, yang menandakan dia memang tak boleh negatif 1. Okey. Ini soalan yang orang kata wajar dibincangkan. Yang lain tu saya tengok agak direct sebenarnya. Nampak je susah. Actually you kena complete the square dulu untuk 21 dengan 22. Siapa yang tak boleh lagi complete the square sila lakukan. Dan kemudian kita bahagikan dengan koefisien yang di kanan supaya dia boleh dapat nampak sama ada dia positif 1 atau negatif 1. Ingat balik, saya recap selalunya student kalau standard form untuk hyperbola, dia x minus h squared minus, then it will be equivalent to positive 1 atau negative 1. Apa yang saya nak cakap kat sini, kadang-kadang student dia terconfuse dengan ellipse. So always remember that although the standard equation looks similar, but actually very differs at this part, plus and also the minus, the sum. Satu sum, satu difference. Right hand side walaupun ada yang sama case iaitu equals to 1, it can be change. Sebab saya pernah dapat satu soalan saya jawab, dia sama dengan negative 1. Actually if you manipulate the formula, it can be normalized itu equals to 1. So actually time tu bukan hyperbola, dia jadi ellipse. Itu kena hati-hati. Make sure ellipse x minus h squared over a squared plus then the right hand side must be a solid positive 1. Ini solid kat sini. Untuk hyperbola, dia mestilah difference, dia kena x squared tolak y. Do not interchange y squared minus x squared, then you will be different on the right hand side tu. Kepada yang jawab beberapa soalan kat sini akan perasan benda ni. Saya rasa dekat soalan ni 19B. 19B, y squared minus x squared over 25. Okay, sekejap saja. Saya rasa yang ni agak mudah. Jangan buat silap lah yang ni. Okay. The original question, y squared minus x squared over 25 equals to 1. Time ni dah gabra sebab, bentuk apa ni kan? Nanti dulu. Okay, so if you arrange it, so the x will be at the front. So you will see that, okay, per 25 plus y squared equals to 1. At this point, some of you might ponder, kalau saya soalan tu tak cakap hyperbola ke ellipse, it's quite possible that you might think that this is an ellipse. Tak mustahil. Kata, ni tambah ni ellipse ni. Okay, that's why must be very careful. With some manipulation, okay, equals to 1 saya tulis je. Equals to negative 1. So actually it's not ellipse because it's a plus sign. It's actually a hyperbola which lies on the vertical plane, vertical punya axis. Soalan dia tukar structure saja. Tetapi last kali kita kena compare, adakah dia sama dengan bentuk standard equation ellipse ataupun standard equation of hyperbola. Dan bila dah sampai hyperbola pula, dia jenis yang sama ada lies on the horizontal axis or vertical axis. So this one is definitely the vertical axis one. Jadi kat sini dah senang lah. Yang mana kamu boleh tahu nilai A adalah 5. Because A squared equals to 25. Okay, ni saya cuba clearkan kawan kamu punya. Kena kuasa 2 ke? Kena kuasa 2. Cuba kita tengok. Okay. Standard equation again. Because we know that this is equals to negative 1. Okay. Cuba kita tengok berapakah nilai A. Dan perlu tak kita kuasa 2 kan? So ini A squared equals to 25. The A is plus minus 5. So inilah cara cara kita tunjukkan nilai A dengan B. Saya rasa mungkin bahayanya kalau student letak macam ni. Boleh je, tak ada masalah pun kalau letak macam ni. Tapi actually it's 5 again. Be careful. Always try to compare with the standard equation. Okay, so let's recap a little bit, especially the conic section one. In the conic section, you already covered circle. You already covered parabola. X squared equals to 4py and also y squared equals to 4px. X squared ada h panjang sangat. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals to r squared. Ni pun x minus h dengan 4 minus p k Saya laju sikit je. Ellipse and also for hyperbola. The key point for all to master this one, always please standard equation. Kena mahir yang mana satu. Buatlah you punya cheat sheet and try to memorize it. And then the second one, if you must have the algebraic manipulation. Algebraic manipulation macam saya baru tunjuk tadi, case tadi. Sometimes you need to manipulate the equation such that it can be compared with the standard equation. So algebraic manipulation ni banyaklah, dan salah satu skill yang paling penting kena ingat kalau melibatkan completing the square. Okay. So standard equation, bila dah saya cakap standard equation, know the parameter, know the variable involved, know each of it. Contoh, R ni apa, H apa, K apa. Benda nampak simple tapi kena tahu. Untuk parabola pula dia ada coefficient P kat situ, P tu special kat situ Ellipse kita dah cover, A dengan juga B dan juga C lah, sorry saya habiskan. Kita kena ada A untuk X punya horizontal punya value, B untuk vertical punya value, dan C untuk C stands for focus. Then you will success in this topic. Okay. Saya akan cari lagi soalan yang mencabar macam ni, supaya kita boleh master dengan benda ni, standard equation ni. Okay. Hari ni saya nak masuk sedikit chapter 2 dan honestly speaking for chapter 2 parametric equation it's easy, but subject to some limitation, especially when it involves the trigo part. Ada orang tanya soalan ke di chat?
Sir.
Ya, Haziq. Jana. Okay.
Sir, nak tahu jawapan 21 dengan 22 boleh?
21 dengan 22. Okay. 21 dengan 22 saya tak buat lagi. Bagi saya masa sekejap boleh?
Boleh, saya boleh.
Alright. Yang lain kalau nak share jawapan boleh. Kalau tak nak tunggu saya. Kalau yang lain, kalau orang kata nak chill kejap, nak rehat kejap, go on. So 9x squared, dia your friend try to check the answer. Saya tulis dulu atas kertas. Okay, basically this one of course need complete the square. Saya dah nampak kat situ, 9x squared plus 18x and minus y squared plus 6y equals to 4. Okay, try to complete the square here. 9 y squared dah tak boleh kat sini, 9y semua 4. X plus 1 squared plus 2x, x y 1 squared minus 1 x squared plus 2x. Okay, minus y squared plus 6y equals to 4. Okay, dan seterusnya buka. Plus 9, 13. Should I do that? 13 minus 9 minus 9. Oh, saya tak siap lagi yang untuk ni. Kena ada juga kat yang ni. Minus. Let's say I made it to 1. Boleh ke nak negatif dulu? Kalau negatifkan, saya jadi y squared minus 6y sama dengan 13. Minus y squared, y minus 6 minus 2, 3. plus 9 minus 9 minus 6y minus 9 sama dengan 13. Buka balik, minus y minus 3 squared plus 9 sama dengan 13. 13 tolak 9, 4. Y minus 3 squared equals to 4. Can I normalize it? Over 9 over 4 over 4 over 4. Minus 3 squared over 4 equals to 1. Okay, so saya dapat, kita bagi 9 atas, kita bagi 9 kat bawah, x plus 1 squared over 4 over 9 minus y minus 3 squared over 4, it will be over 4 lah, equals to 1. Okay, for 21, okay, this is I get, double check dengan saya lah, in case lah. Okay, x plus 1 squared over 4 over 9 minus y minus 3 squared over 4 is equivalent to 1. So saya nampak tolak kat sini, saya nampak positif kanan kat sini. So it will be a hyperbole with this kind of shape lah. Try to compare, soalan tu minta apa? Sketch the graph. Oh, disuruh sketch. Okay, so you need to know the exact value of A, you need to know the exact value of B and also the C. Okay. But what I can be sure right now, this will be A squared. Comparekan x minus h squared over A squared minus y minus k squared over B squared equals to 1. Okay, comparekan the top one and the bottom one. You can know that your hk is negative 1, sorry. This will be k equals to 3. This is for the center. And as for A, the horizontal value point, A squared equals to 4 over 9. Therefore, A equals to plus minus 2 over 3. Okay. B squared equals to 4 and therefore B equals to plus minus 2. Jadi dia minta sketch, okay? Dia minta sketch. Jadi bila sketch ni hati-hati, always use necessary stationery. Jangan tiru macam saya, tak guna pembaris, tak boleh, tak cantik. Okay. Normally people will after I know the basic shape, positive 1, normally people will tend to plot the center first. So center dia negative 1, 3, anggaran negative 1, 1, 2, 3. Saya tak lukis betul-betul skala sini. So this will be the center. My center is negative 1, 3. So A adalah plus minus 2 over 3. Oh, susahnya lukis. 2 over 3 0.6 sikit je kat sini. For the vertex. So vertices dia, it will be on the right one, negative 1 plus 2 over 3. Y dia sama 3. So negative 1 plus 2 over 3. It will be negative 1 over 3, 3. Dia di antara sinilah. And then satu lagi pula, negative 1 minus 2 over 3, 3. It will be negative 5 over 3, 3. The coordinate, Dia sikit juga, Sini, negatif 1.667. Lukiskan horizontal axis yang bersambungan. And one more thing you need to find is C. Okay, C. C squared equals to A squared plus B squared. Therefore, C squared equals to this 4/9 plus 4. 4 plus 4/9. 40/9. Nilai tak cantik lah. 40/9. So C equals to square root. Okay, in the simplified form it will be plus minus 2 square root 10/3, which is equivalent, saya bundarkan 2.1082. Okay, so highlight untuk for the center one, untuk center pula, this will be negative 1 plus 2.1082 and negative 1 minus 2.1082. Habiskan saya, kalau saya nak mungkin tak cantik lah saya lukis Nanti untuk jawapan yang lengkap saya kena plot dalam satu software. I will plot into the software, then you can see the actual beautiful hyperbola based on this point. Hyperbola kena sentuh vertices bukannya fokus. Okay. Itu je soalan tu dia nak kamu lukis, sketch beza dengan plot memang kena cantik lah kot. Tapi kalau sketch ni as long you have a center, you have a vertices, it touches the vertices, then ada 3 markah kat sini. Okay. Alright, sekejap saya habiskan dulu. So the necessary skills that is needed, panjang-panjang ni ialah complete the square. I'm not sure whether you can see my drawings on the paper here. You kena complete the square dulu. Okay, then I can get the final answer yang pertama dan saya setarakan dengan standard equation dan berdasarkan maklumat beberapa iaitu center, vertices dan juga focus. It will be some diagram of hyperbola like this. Okay. So if you get the same with my standard equation, and so most probably your drawing will be right. Okay.
Sure.
Yes, saya.
Sketch macam ni cukup tak payah lukis yang directrix dengan asymptote semua tu
It depends on, I think I mentioned in the previous lectures, tapi it's okay, I will repeat again. Directrix and also the asymptotes, okay? Kalau nak lukis, dia bergantung pada keperluan soalan. Sometimes the question, okay, please sketch the asymptote as well. Dia maksudnya kalau dia memerlukan banyak markah. Selalunya kalau saya nak justify kepada student, dia kena tengok markah. Okay, kalau markah tu sikit, yang paling penting center, vertices and also the focus, which accountable for 3 marks. But if I need my students to identify what are the asymptotes, draw the asymptotes and also draw the directrix, saya kena mention sepatutnya, atau kalau saya tak mention, atau saja, it will be 5 marks there. It will be 5 marks for the sketching. Tapi untuk sketching selalunya saya letak 3 saja. Selalunya tu 1 sem je saya buat. Okay?
Okay, so thank you.
But the popular question for the asymptote and directrix, bukan kata saya tak tanya, saya kata saya tak lukis. Okay, mungkin saya tak suruh student lukis. I might ask, state the directrix. So directrix mesti dalam straight line. Okay, for this particular case it will be y equals to something. Itu saya mungkin tanya. For asymptote, okay, what is the line of asymptote for this hyperbola here? So mungkin kamu kena complete the square, complete, dapat nilai A, dapat nilai B, then you can find the directrix and also the asymptotes. Itu possible besar saya tanya. Bukan soalan spot possible je. Okay. Okay, for the last one, saya tengok sekejap kalau tak lama lah. Kalau lama nanti saya buat kemudian. Ini pun kalau kamu boleh complete the square boy, bagi saya masa sikit untuk saya draw balik lah. I don't see that you, okay, macam soalan ni 22. Find the center, vertices, foci and asymptote. Dia tak suruh lukis pun. Dia tak suruh lukis. So, I don't expect the drawing of my students for this hyperbola, I suppose. Dia dah cakap hyperbola. I don't really expect that. Kalau student tak lukis, saya tak penalize. But you need to specifically tell me what is the asymptote there. So, untuk soalan ni memang algebraic manipulation is needed here, where you need to complete your square and then you need to divide with berapa ni? Oh, you need to divide with 18, the coefficient of 18, so you will get your right hand side is equivalent to 1 or negative 1. I don't sure yet. It's negative, yeah, it will be negative there. By having that variable parameter, then you can know exactly the exact value of all of the requirements of the question. Semua boleh tahu. Okay. Tadi saya tambah nota saya dah padam. Tambah sikit dalam peringatan. Standard equation must be aligned with the common shape. Jangan standard equation tu kamu tak lukis shape tu. Dalam nota kamu nanti yang dimudahkan, standard equation sebelah tu lukis shape asas. Saya rasa saya dah tunjuk yang daripada lecture lepas, contoh saya punya nota. Saya adalah conteng dekat nota saya yang tak cantik ni. So, it can make as a reminder for me which standard equation corresponds to which figure. Okay, penting tolong buat. Kalau kamu tak buat, susah untuk kamu master conic section. Conic section yang susah saya tengok. Straight line tak susah mana. Okay. We take a break for 2 minutes. Okay, kita mula balik susu, iaitu about the chapter 2 parametric equation. I'm sure Madam Intan already, dulu kan saya cakap saya dah letak semua kan. To those of the student who already take those, you can open those. If not, you see by the week lah. Because kalau saya lah, praktis saya yang dulu-dulu saya letak segumpal macam tu supaya senang nak cari. Saya tak tahu Madam Intan tukar ke tak lah. Dia sepatutnya seorang je boleh edit kan. Baru senang lah. Kalau ramai kepala edit, style masing-masing lah. Open the chapter 2 parametric equation. This one is quite a fairly easy chapter, honestly. Error algebra, okay. Okay, lupakan chapter 1 sementara. And we go for parametric equation. Okay. Yeah, I start with some what I call as initial orientation lah, orientasi awal. In a normal graph, you have x and you have y. And y is an independent variable which depends on x. Contoh, tadi kita ada asymptote y equals to plus minus x. Okay, can you plot this straight line? Okay, most of my student will be able to do it. Boleh, semua boleh buat. Tapi banyak kaedah masing-masing. Contoh okay, ni Dr. Khairul pernah ajar saya rasa. X, y, you only have these two variables. If x is 0, what will be y? Itu pemikiran kita. Kalau dalam kes ni, y equals to x plus minus x, okay? So, y equals to 0. So, kalau x sama dengan 1, y sama dengan 1, dan y pun sama dengan negatif 1 and so on. Tapi you get my idea lah. This is what we call as a plotting. So y plus equals to plus x ini, kalau saya mati kat sini je lah. Untuk y equals to negative x, this one. This is the graph that is produced by this equation, y equals to plus minus x. Where y depends on the value of x. Okay, imagine there is more than one independent variable. More than one independent variable, it means that this variable depends on both y and x. Dia bukannya depend kepada satu dependent variable saja, dia depend kepada dua. So that one we call as a new parameter. Jadi dalam chapter ini, you will go through what happened when one independent variable is actually affected by more than one dependent variable. Okay, so that is our motivation, and the usage of this kind of representation is plenty. For example, kamu tengoklah kat sini, parametric equation can actually represent a much more complex movement of a particle. Kalau dalam fizik lah, saya tak pandai fizik sangat. Dia ada banyak pergerakan ni tidak stationary. It's non-deterministic. Dia tidak tentu. Jadi bila pergerakan tidak tentu ni disebabkan oleh it is affected by more than one dependent variable. Banyak variable yang bersangkut kat sini. In the real world, it's not only XY, it's much more than that. Okay, it's much more than XY. Maybe ada XYZ kalau for the case of 3D. Okay, trajectory dia berubah bergantung pada parameter yang ditetapkan. Okay, You guys adalah engineer, mungkin you boleh tengok, boleh aplikasikan dalam mana-mana pergerakan engineering kot. Saya tak pandai juga, saya tahu math saja setakat ni. It might have the application in the real world sense, but it's important for you to realize the existence of more than one dependent variable, and it will produce various shape of graph and also a movement that is involved in that particular graph. So kebanyakannya graph parametric ni dia banyak dalam bentuk curve, banyak dalam bentuk curve, dan dia ada pergerakan, it has a movement, therefore it will have an orientation, arah. Okay, so we start with the simplest one. Okay, you are given a parameter t, x equals to t, and y is represented by 2t minus 3. Okay, tadi saya tulis xy. Imagine right now you have a t, dan t kita define kat sini kosong, t less than 4. Okay, this is what they call plotting punya method. This is not eliminating yet. This is just a simple plotting. So saya tulislah t, x, y. Okay, the t is fit here. It might not necessarily be in any integer, tetapi kalau kita nak plotting, selalunya orang plot guna integer lah. So 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. What is the value of x and what is the value of y? So kita boleh tengok kat sini, ini adalah representation x and this is a representation of y. So x equals to t. Bila x equals to t, kita tahu ni adalah kosong. Y pula 2t tolak 3. So it will be 2 times 0 minus 3. So it will be negative 3 here. Complete this table. Sekejap, 2 tolak 3, negative 1. 4 minus 3, 1. And 3 minus 2, 6, 7, 3. Okay. I finish representing some of the points here. When you get this value of x, y, cuba plot. Kita ada 1, 2, 3, 4 titik kat sini. So kosong, negatif 3. Buat macam biasalah. Ni adalah x, y. In the graph that will be drawn here, you will not draw t. T is the parameter which reflected by this x, y. And based on this parameter x equals to t, y equals to t, 2t minus 3, cuba lukis. Ini sangat senang lah, kosong tolak 3. Okay, kosong tolak 3. Sekejap. Kosong tolak 3. Sinilah katakan. 1 negative 1. Sini katakan. 1, 2. Apa ni? 2. 1, 2, 3. 1 is negative 1. When it's 2, it's 1. And when it's 3, it's 3 here. So it will be a straight line. Yang kena lah kamu lukis bagi kena. Okay, so this is a straight line. So this method again, I mentioned this is a plotting method. So actually this parametric equation is a straight line. Okay. Now it states here by eliminating t. Sekarang ni kita ada method kedua where they call it elimination of t. Based on this method, it's like a substitution. It's like a substitution where you represent x equals to t, you bring into the second equation, you can see that y equals to 2x minus 3. So dia suruh lukis equation straight line ini. Itu yang kita boleh justify. This is a straight line with a gradient of positive 2 and also the y-intercept of negative 3. So you kena lukis graph ini. Inilah kaedah elimination of T. And let's look at the drawn diagram here. Ini plotting tadi kita. Baik. Solution sampai 4. Soalan sampai 4. Saya yang tulis silap. Okay, so sampai 4 lah. So you kena complete lagi satu. Okay, 4 So ni 4. 8 minus 3 is 5. Okay, done. So draw it and it will be some kind representation like this. Y equals to 2x minus 3. Macam ni lah. So orang yang buat nota ni pun dia guna software yang cantik, dia lukis. Lukis software boleh lah, cuba lukis tangan So you all guys, sebab of course you cannot represent the software in your answer, please draw it nicely Okay. Kita tak susah lagi kat sini sebab nanti korang tengok apa beza dia kan, tak ada beza pun, baik suruh lukis je y equals to 2x minus 3. Kenapa nak ada t? That is the case when x equals to 3, t. Okay. So right now let's look at the different kind of parameter. Okay. Ini x sama dengan t. Again sama dengan t, tapi kali ini kita y equals to square root t minus 1. Okay, if you use the plot, boleh je plot, tak ada masalah. Plot, what is the t here? Oh, banyaknya. So t 10. If they ask you to use the plotting method, by plotting, disuruh plot, kena buat sampai 10 lah. T, x, y. Buat macam tadi, 1, 2, 3, 4 sampai 10. Dan kita, based on nilai x dengan y, kita boleh dapat tahu mana kedudukan dia. Tapi saya tak akan buat sampai 10, saya buat sikit saja dulu. T 1, 2, 3, 4 lah, cukup. And we have x and we have y. Okay, x equals to t, then I can complete this one. And how about for the y? It's a square root of t minus 1. So square root of 1, kosong. Gantilah dalamnya. When buat satu-satu t equals to 2. When t equals to 2, then y equals to square root 2 minus 1. Dapatlah square root 1. And for the t, kalau 3, just follow the equation. Y equals to square root 3 minus 1, it is a square root 2. And this will be a square root 3. When you get this info, the next thing that you should do is actually sketch the graph. Dia cakap sketch the graph. X, Y. So this is 1, 2, 3, and so on. When 1, y equals to 0. Sini. When x equals to 2, y equals to 1. Okay, the next one should be very challenging because this is square root of 2. So square root of 2 is equivalent to 1.4 something. So actually, when you draw this nicely, it will be some kind of graph which is moving logarithmically. Dia akan exponential macam tu. Okay. So ini kalau kita guna kaedah plotting, agak sukar kat sini. Tapi still it can be done. And let's look for the elimination. Kalau elimination of t, simple je untuk case ni. Because x equals to t, then y equals to square root of x minus 1. Actually, you need to draw this equation. Some say that it is quite related. Sometimes student dia tak boleh directly lukis macam ni. Tak apa, plot dulu baru masuk boleh je, tak ada masalah. The end product is always the same graph. That I strive for is the same graph. Selalunya markah akan diberi dekat graph. Bukannya dia nak tengok macam mana directly kamu tulis table ni. Table ni tak ada markah. Yang ada markah dekat graph. So plot the correct graph. And based on this drawing, kita boleh lihat dia pergerakan dia secara logarithmic. Okay, dan scale dia pun tak sama sangat, sama. Scale dia tak sama tu kalau korang tengok. Sebab tu dia menjunam lambat sikit. Okay. Okay, let's try one more. Saya baru nak kita buat sama-sama. Okay, this is a special case where the parameter is x is not equals to t anymore. X equals to square root t, y equals to t minus 1. Use any of the method that I taught you just now, whether you put it in the table ataupun kamu terus eliminate the t tu masuk dalam equation y. Cuba kamu dapat apa. Jangan tengok jawapan lagi lah. Cuba sendiri dulu. Walaupun jawapan dah ada. Saya boleh je ambil daripada tutorial tapi lebih cepat kita tengok jawapan dengan lukisan yang dah sedia ada. Okay. Saya nak tahu kalau you use elimination by elimination of t, y sama dengan benda dalam sebutan x. Okay. Take some time, 1 minute. Saya nak kamu berfikir. Although I cannot see what happens behind your camera, I cannot see, but at least think, yeah. Because the problem right now, you have y equals to t minus 1. And what is the value of t? Kan? What is the value of t? Dalam sebutan x.
X kuasa 2.
X square.
X squared.
X squared.
Minus 1.
Yes.
Right. Thank you for your participation. Okay, because we get y equals to t minus 1 here, we must know what is the value of t dalam sebutan x. Okay, based on the first equation here on the left top here, top left, then you manipulate the formula, the equation, sorry, then you know that t is x squared. Dapat nilai ni masuk balik dalam equation y, sebab itulah sahabat kamu mengatakan y equals to x squared minus 1 and draw the graph of y equals to x squared minus 1. Okay, this might be quite random. Okay, based on your experience from the basic mathematics and also your secondary level of school, you know this is a quadratic equation with a shape of a U shape and it intercepts at -1. So lakaran kasar ini. Okay. -1. Ni bukan -1. Itulah nak cepat sangat. Okay, -1. Okay, -1. Tapi orang ni lukis satu side je. Saya lukis dua side. Betul, kedua side saya tengok dia ada letak parameter t dia. Dia tak cakap. Sebab tu saya lukis dua side. Okay. So if you draw both side then you will be fine. Okay. Mungkin ada soalan daripada kawan-kamu, mana nak tahu satu side ke dua side? Tengoklah pada nilai, kalau dinyatakan dalam soalan the value of t sampai mana. Itu penting juga. That's why from the previous example, dia cakap t range dia berapa. Kita kena tengok dari situ dan kita boleh tahu nilai x kita daripada mana sampai mana. Okay, saya nak buat satu lagi example. Saya tahu nak pukul 2 dah, sorry sebab saya start lambat. Saya meeting dengan industri tadi. Saya buat satu saja yang ni. Okay, yang ni saya penting. Saya nak belajar kamu asas sebelum kamu belajar sendiri dulu. Sebelum kita sambung hari Senin ni. Okay, sekejap saja berkenaan trigo. Okay, the fundamental thing that you must remember first, I tell you directly, is this Trigomia Pythagorean identity. Panggil. which is the sine squared theta plus cos squared theta equals to 1. Benda ni banyak digunakan. Okay, let's put this aside. Let's try to visualize what this parametric equation represents. Okay, ni first time kita dapat contoh trigo yang ada melibatkan sin dengan cos. So let's see what is our t here. Okay, x sama dengan 2 cos t. So cos t equals to x over 2. Whereas for the y, 2 sin t, and this t equals to, sorry, not t tak boleh, kita tak boleh directly dapat macam tu. Sin t equals to y over 2. By using the Pythagorean identity just now, try to find what is cos squared t, which is x squared over 2 squared. And this sin squared t, you get y squared over 2 squared. And then I put into the equation of Pythagorean identity there. Okay. So saya tambahkan sin squared t plus cos squared t. X squared over 4 plus y squared over 4 is equivalent to 1. Bentuk apakah ini? And before you start saying this is an ellipse, it might be an ellipse. It might be, I don't know yet. Let's see. Let's try to simplify this further. You can see that x squared plus y squared equals to 4. And this is the shape of a
circle.
Thank you so much. Okay, this is a shape of a circle, and do you know the radius? Do you know the origin? You can know it. This is a x squared plus y squared equals to 2 squared. Therefore, you have your center, your origin is the origin itself, and the radius is 2. Can you draw it? Let's draw it, sketch it very fast. Imagine 0, 0. Masalah. This is x and this is y. You use your protector orang lagi. Jangan lukis. Draw it nicely. Ui, ellipse. Dia terjadi ellipse. Saya nak lukis bulatan. I try one more. Tak jadi. Okay. Tak okay. Use your jangka lukis. Actually, the graph that it should represent is a circle with the radius of 2. And then we stop here. Next week we will continue with more trigonometric punya contoh. In the meantime, okay, you can do many tutorials here right now. Number 1 and number 2 is almost the same. Soalan dia sama je sebenar. Cuma yang bezanya nombor 2 dia paksa kamu untuk gunakan plotting. During the test and also the final exam, I don't really force you to use the plotting one. You can use directly eliminating the t, because I found out the end product that matters most is the correct graph. Okay. Teruskan study sendiri dulu. Isnin depan kita akan ada kuliah lagi. Dan memandangkan test kamu hari Rabu depan, kalau tak sempat dan saya akan tunda, saya akan bincang dengan kamu balik untuk sama ada kita perlu tunda atau tidak. But at the meantime, kita masih stick to that date, unless stated otherwise. Soalan lain?
Ya, saya nak tanya itu tutorial.
Ya, tutorial mana?
Sir boleh tunjuk tutorial chapter 2 tak?
Apa
Ada
dia?
satu
Ah,
tutorial, Sir scroll ke bawah. Ke
okay.
bawah. Itu yang last dua tu untuk apa?
Okay. Last dua tu untuk apa? Okay, dia adalah soalan yang sama. It is the same question with just a different boundary of t. Dia range t dia berbeza. Dia soalan dia based on this ni soalan ni berdasarkan J. X equals to 4 sin 4t. The one more is y equals to 2 cos 4t. Soalan yang sama tetapi 4 julat yang berbeza. 4 different ranges actually I suppose here. Jadi curve tu, nanti kamu lukis curve tu, ada yang curve complete, ada yang curve tak complete sampai pi over 8 and pi over 4, pi and over pi over 2. Because 2 pi is a complete 360 degrees or 2 pi radian. Kalau disuruh sampai pi tu maksudnya sampai 180. Soalan yang sama, saya ulang, tetapi curve yang habis dengan curve yang tak habis.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir.
Tapi sepatutnya A, B, C, D lah kat situ. Dia buat A, B, A, B. Jadi I might understand your confusion. Again, for this one tak ada soalan, tak ada jawapan. Kenapa tak ada jawapan? Simple je saya nak cakap pasal kena banyak diagram. Tapi saya tak ingat saya buat tak yang ni. Nanti saya cari dulu, saya lepas, kalau tak saya kena buat balik. The important thing is please improve your drawing. Improve your drawing. Okay? Soalan lain? Okay. If no, thank you so much. Next week we meet again. That's all. Okay, thank you so much and goodbye. Have a nice day. Have a nice day.
Thank you, sir.
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 You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, nanti saya post video tengok dalam playlist saya. Assalamualaikum. Goodbye.
Thank you, sir.
Ya, sama-sama.